Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Collegiate Water Polo Association remote broadcast of the Heartland Division Regional Tournament hosted by Macalester College. I'm Scott Samuel David Weiss. It's Saturday, October 1st, 2016. We get ready for Game 1 of 9 on the day in this tournament between Carleton College and the Dark Caps and St. John's University of Minnesota and the Whitecaps. And there you see St. John's. The Johnnies are over 85 miles from Macalester, from Collegeville, Minnesota, while Carleton comes from Northfield, Minnesota, which is about 44.6 from St. Paul. There you see Carleton and the Dark Caps. And now you see some of the Carleton players get in the water. So Carleton is 2-2 on the campaign, while St. John's 0-4. As we get you set for the first quarter of Game 1. And here we go. Reverse swim off between Carleton and St. John's. And it will belong to the Johnnies. And St. John's with possession. And here we go. First shot is denied. And now we have a whistle. And it looks like it'll be a 2-meter throw. So first quarter, Carleton and St. John's scoreless. Johnnies with the possession. And that one will be taken care of by the Carleton keeper. So these two teams met 0 times last year. They double forfeited, and there was a forfeit win to Carleton. That one goes, and it's good! Boom shakalaka! It's cap 11 for Carleton. It's 1-0 Knights. Here in the first quarter of this Heartland Division Regional Tournament. So in 2015 on October 3rd, these teams double forfeited, and in October 17th in Game 5 of 6 in the Heartland Division Championship at Grinnell, Carleton won 5-0 because St. John's forfeited. So St. John's with the ball, down 1, that is blocked by the goalkeeper. And that will be given to the keeper. So 1-0 Carleton in the first quarter. Carleton last year was 0-7 in the regular season, which was last place in the Heartland, and 2-8 overall, getting 5th place after the championship rounds. And Carleton now passing. Here's the opportunity in the right off corner. Boom shakalaka. Looks like cap 14. And it's 2-0 Carleton here in the first quarter against St. John's of Minnesota. The Johnnies last year were 1-5 in the regular season, 1-8 overall. That was 7th out of 7. So the Johnnies and the Whitecaps down by 2 here in the first quarter. And there's a whistle. And Johnnies will retain possession. Now Carleton confiscates. There'll be a 1-on-1 swim. Johnnies will try to take it away and get it. 1-on-1. Wrist shot. And it is a little bit too much. Out of play. Carleton may get possession, otherwise it'll be a 2-meter throw for the Johnnies, which it will. So Carleton 2, St. John's, Minnesota 0. And that one is caught with both hands by the Carleton keeper. Again, we're in St. Paul, Minnesota in the Central Time Zone. So we're an hour behind the Eastern Time Zone. And now Carleton with possession, wearing the dark hats. The Knights up by 2. And is confiscated by the Johnnies. And there's a whistle. So this conference has been dominated by Grinnell the last 3 years. In 2015, Grinnell won the title at 8-0 in the regular season, 11-0 overall, and Grinnell was absent in 2014, but in 2013, Grinnell was also 8-0 and 11-0 overall. And that one is confiscated by Carleton. See if we can get a breakaway. And we'll do pass back. See if there'll be some dry passes or there'll be a few wet in between. So first quarter still 2-0 Carleton over St. John's, Minnesota. That one is a bouncer, but it is saved by the St. John's, Minnesota goalkeeper. So 2014 actually, Augustana was the Heartland champion at 8-0 and 11-0 overall, and that goes through. Boom shakalaka. 2-1 now, and that looks like it may have been number 11 with the goal for St. John's, and it's now 2-1. So Carleton with the first 2 of the opening quarter, and St. John's trims the deficit in half. So once again, Carleton in the dark caps and St. John's in the white. And that one is turned over, and the keeper will get it. So and again, this is game 1 of 9 on the day. We'll bring you the first 8 on the CWPA network. And that one now belongs to the Knights. That's Carleton College from Northfield, Minnesota. First quarter still 2-1 Carleton. It's a wet pass. And that's a battle, and is taken momentarily by St. John's. And there's a shot that is pummeled and denied by the keeper. So Carleton with possession. So Carleton on September 24th defeated Knox 6-3 and lost to Augustana 13-4, as that one is saved. And then on the 25th, Carleton won 8-1 against Knox and lost 11-5 to Augustana. That was at Carleton College. So here come the Johnnies in the Whitecaps. St. John's, Minnesota, looking to equalize. Shot there is blocked and saved by the Carleton keeper. St. John's on September 17th at St. Mary's University in Minnesota lost 15-7 to St. Mary's and 15-1 to Grinnell. The following day, September 18th, St. John's lost 19-11 against Macalester and 13-10 against St. Mary's. Here comes the Knights, and that one will be grabbed by the Johnny keeper. It's 2-1 Carleton here in the first quarter of game 1. And that one is blocked aside by the Carleton keeper. Even though it's early on, our next game is scheduled for 12:35 p.m. Central Time between defending champion Grinnell College and Augustana College. That should be an interesting contest, the last 2 champions of this division. So 2-1 Carleton here in the first quarter. And there's a whistle. And it could be exclusion time. So looks like advantage for Carleton. See if the Knights can capitalize. So 2-1 Carleton. Carleton in the dark caps. And St. John's, Minnesota in the white. Once again, I'm Scott Samuel David Weiss. We're in St. Paul, Minnesota at Macalester College. About 9.5 miles from Mall of America. And that one is snared down by the Johnny keeper. The Johnny's down by 1 in the first quarter. And that one is blocked. Another opportunity goes outside, out of play. Will be Carleton possession. So 2-1 Carleton in the first quarter. Carleton currently in a freeway tie for third at 2-2. Knox and St. John's are both 0-4 so far. Both Augustana and Grinnell enter today 4-0. So Johnny possession, still in the first quarter. Carleton 2, St. John's, Minnesota 1. Nicely done by the keeper to get that out of play. And there's a whistle. And it'll be a 2-meter throw. Looks like there's 4 seconds on the clock. Referees are trying to understand the situation. It's 2-1 Carleton. Carleton with the first 2 goals, that we believe caps number 11 and 14, while we believe cap 11 has the St. John's goal. So it'll be important on this October 1st and October 2nd to win games, because it'll be important for seeding come time for the Heartland Division Championship stages, which I believe is scheduled on October 15th and 16th at Grinnell College in Grinnell, Iowa. And once again, Scott S.D. Weiss here in St. Paul. It's the Carleton Knights 2 with the Dark Caps, and St. John's, Minnesota and the White Caps 1 in the first quarter. Long discussion going on in the scorekeeper's area. And while we wait for that, our next game is at 12:35 Central. There are a few seconds left. It's 2-1. Here in the first quarter. So we'll see if St. John's can capitalize before the end of the session. And the Johnnies and the Whitecaps down 1. Now there's the opportunity that is there down. And they'll hold it. And I believe that is the end of the first quarter. After 1 quarter, it's Carleton and the Dark Caps 2, St. John's, Minnesota and the White Caps 1. The Knights, a quick 2-0 start with goals from Caps 11 and 14, we believe, and we believe Cap 11 for St. John's as the lone Johnny's goal. So each team steps aside for a few minutes. And we'll be back for second quarter action here from St. Paul.
Hi, I'm Wolf Lego, and I'd like to introduce the 1 kilogram heavy training ball. Think of this ball as a weight belt for your arms. This is really going to strengthen your wrist, okay, your forearms, your shoulder, and really make you a lot stronger in your shooting. You can use this ball on dry land against a wall, or in your passing drills, or against a rebounder. Keep the ball up in front and really focus on your shoulder, your wrist, and your forearm in your passing. Maybe pass for 5 or 10 minutes with the ball, and then go back to a regular water polo ball, and you really feel the difference in the power that you're producing out of all those muscle groups.
And welcome back to the game 1 of 9 on this October 1st, 2016 of the Heartland Division Regional Tournament hosted by Macalester College. I'm Scott Samuel David Weiss. We head to the second quarter of action between Carleton and St. John's, Minnesota. It's the Carleton Knights and the Dark Caps 2, and the St. John's, Minnesota Johnnies and the White Caps 1. So we get ready for second quarter action between the Knights and the Johnnies. It's been a while since these teams actually faced off against each other and not because of forfeits. But as we get set, let's remind you, our next game is at 12:35 p.m. Central between Grinnell and Augustana. Then game 3 at 1:40 will be between Macalester and Knox College. 2:45, St. Mary's of Minnesota versus Carleton. At 3:50, we have Augustana versus St. John's. 4:55, we have Knox College versus Grinnell. 6 p.m. in the Central Time Zone, Macalester versus Carleton. In our final broadcast, which will be game 8 at 7:05 between Augustana and St. Mary's. There's a 9th game on the day at 8:10 between St. John's and Grinnell, but we won't bring that to you, and we're sorry we won't be doing that. So, time for the second quarter. Again, Carleton in the dark caps and St. John's, Minnesota in the white. So it's 2-1 here in the second quarter of game 1 of this Heartland Division Regional Tournament at Macalester College in St. Paul, Minnesota. So the teams are going to get ready to race for it. So Carleton's next game is against St. Mary's at 2:45, while St. John's is at 3:50 against Augustana. And as you can see, 7 minutes remaining in this quarter, and then we'll be at halftime. And now here's the battle for opening tip in this second quarter, and it is given to the Johnnies. So St. John's and the Whitecaps down 1 with possession. And Carleton will take care of that. And here come the Knights. Long pass. Oh, that's beautifully executed. Boom, shakalaka. It's 3-1, Carleton. Number 21 for Carleton is first. And it's now 3-1 Knights here in St. Paul, Minnesota. And that was nicely done. Great job with the assist inside. And St. John's now trailing once again by 2 in this second quarter. So Johnny's now with the possession. Down 2. So it's Carleton, the dark caps 3, St. John's and the white caps 1. That was briefly confiscated. And the Knights and the dark caps with control. Waiting, looking for a foul probably. And there's an outside pass. It was wet. Another wet pass. And that one's going, looked like it was going out of play. It's going to belong now to the Johnnies. So St. John's down 2 in the first quarter. Carleton outscored the Johnnies 2-1. Now the Johnnies with possession. Gets the pass. And it looks like there's a shot clock violation. Can't make those mental errors. But it gives Carleton an opportunity to extend its lead. It's a bouncer that falls way short of the net. And now here come the Johnnies. And that one is stared down by the Carleton keeper. So it's 3-1 in the second quarter. Again, these two schools separated from each other by about 120.5 miles. both in Minnesota. There's a whistle. Maybe exclusion time. Could be advantage for the Knights. Well, looks like the Knights have the advantage. So Carleton, the Dark Cats with possession. So 3-1 in the second quarter. On the left corner, boom, shakalaka. Number 21 does it again with his second of this quarter. And it's now 4-1 Carleton over the Johnnies of St. John's, Minnesota. Again, hard to believe, Carleton did not have any regular season wins in 2015. Did finish 2-8 after the championship stages. Now, there's some communication with Cap 6 and White for St. John's. And right now, 12:49 the East Coast, 11:49 a.m. Central Time. On this October 1st, 4-1 in the second quarter. Now there's the opportunity, but it is short. Here come the Knights and the Dark Cats of Carleton. So 4-1 Carleton. Both second quarter goals by Cap 21 to the Knights. And that is taken away now by the Johnnies. Here comes St. John's. Takes the opportunity. Great guessing by the goalkeeper to deny. So now the Knights, the Dark Caps of Carleton, with possession. And once again, I'm Scott Samuel David Weiss, bringing you Heartland Division action from Macalester College in St. Paul, Minnesota. Saturday, October 1st, 2016. Hard to believe we're already in month 10 of the calendar year. So possession will now be with St. John's, Minnesota, and the Whitecaps. Just thinking, goes over the net. Wide left. Possession, Carleton in the Dark Caps. So 4-1, Carleton. Carleton had taken the 2-0 lead. St. John's answered with one, but the last two, which have been in this quarter, have been by Carleton's Cap 21. It's a long wet pass. Briefly intercepted. Now goes inside. Oh, this looks beautiful. But didn't guess correctly, as that one is snared down by the St. John's keeper. And here come the Johnnies in the White Caps here in the second quarter. That one goes to the corner. Boom, shakalaka. Number 14 for St. John's scores his first of the contest. And it's now Carleton 4, St. John's 2. So St. John's trims the deficit now by 2 here in the second quarter. Now the Johnnies have goals from Caps 11 and 14. So nicely executed. Carleton looking to extend once again. Its largest lead at 3, now it's down to 2. Look out here. That could be an exclusion. No, it's not. Turnover. Look very carefully. Possibly a foul. The refs say it goes the other way. So it's Carleton 4, St. John's 2, St. John's in the Whitecaps. Maybe it looks like we're coming close to the end of the second quarter. And that one goes to the corner. Boom, shakalaka. There's Cap 14 again. And it's now a 1-goal difference. It's 4-3 Carleton the Dark Caps over the St. John's Johnnies in the white. So 2 straight from Cap 14 in white. And now St. John's down 1. And we're going to wait. Whistle for the Knights to start possession. Here we go. Goes outside. Watch out. It's intercepted. That's a cap 11 of St. John's, Minnesota. So Carleton up 4-3 in the second quarter of game 1 of 9 on the day here at Macalester College in St. Paul, Minnesota. The whistle, here's an opportunity. That's blocked out of play. It's a crucial play, because if that goes in, this game will be tied at 4. But instead, it's 4-3 still in favor of Carleton. Now we have whistles. Oh, we've thrown. Now, looks like it may be a 2-meter. For St. John's. Here we go. But it is taken by the Knights in the dark caps of Carleton. And here come the Knights in the dark caps of Carleton against cap 9 in white for St. John's. And it is confiscated. Will be pushed to the keeper. And it should be St. John's possession. So here come the Johnnies. Second quarter, 4-3 Carleton. Here come the Johnnies. It's 2 against 2. A whistle will belong to St. John's in the Whitecaps. Takes the bouncer. Goes top shelf. That is blocked back. Beautifully done. And Carleton keeps its 1-goal advantage. 23 seconds now on the shot clock for Carleton. Here come the Knights. Takes a wet pass. Wrister goes to the corner. Boom. Shakalaka. 5-3. Carleton. Nicely done by the Knights. Now the Knights are up by 2 once again. And now here come the Johnnies. Down 2. Waning moments of the second quarter. And that one goes out of play, but that should be the end of the first half. So, after 2 quarters, it's Carleton 5, St. John's 3. So in that quarter, 3 for Carleton and 2 by the Johnnies. As we get ready for third quarter, it is halftime now. So it's 5-3 Carleton. And I'm Scott Samuel Daverway. Stay tuned for our tip of the week.
My name is Kelly Eaton, and I'm going to give you a few tips on basic 8-beater. You always want to keep your hips directly under your shoulders, almost like you're sitting in a chair. Make sure you're flexing your foot from out to in, so it's almost like a breaststroke kick, but with the additional foot flexion, like scooping the water each time. So again, sitting up straight, shoulders back, knees apart, always 8-beatering in like a breaststroke kick, but flexing your foot. And at all times, you can add in some sculling back and forth. And that's your basic 8-beater. Check out this super sweet suit. If you're looking to customize your suit design, go to www.cap7.com.
Hi everyone, thank you for watching so far. Once again, I'm Scott Samuel David Weiss. We're in halftime here at Macalester College in Game 1 of this 9-game first day action of the Heartland Division Regional Tournament in St. Paul. After one half, Carleton in the Dark Caps 5, St. John's, Minnesota 3. St. John's wearing the White Caps, down 2 in that second quarter. Carleton outscored St. John's 3-2 after outscoring the Johnnies 2-1 in the first quarter. So right now we're in halftime again, about 2 minutes 23 to go until the ball will be dropped. As a reminder, our next game is between Grinnell College and Augustana College, the last two division champions here in the Heartland. That will be at 12:35 p.m. Central. The matchup between Grinnell and Augustana will be intriguing. Both are 4-0. Last year, Grinnell had defeated Augustana both times in regular season play, 18-2 and 13-4. While in the first place game, Grinnell defeated Augustana in Game 6. It wasn't the championship game, actually. It was to determine who will go on to what place games. 23-1. So Grinnell last year was 8-0 in the regular season, 11-0 overall, while Augustana was 3-4 regular season. That was 4th place, 5-5 overall. That was third best. And that game is scheduled to take place here around 12:35 p.m. Central. So right now, in our current game, it's St. John's against Carleton, and Carleton the Dark Caps leading 5-3, as you see in the timer. A minute 5 to go. So, once again, I'm Scott Samuel David Weiss, CWPA remote announcer. Again, if you want any more information about the Collegiate Water Polo Association, please visit our website at collegiatewaterpolo.org. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Follow us at CWPA Water Polo. We have 30 seconds left in halftime. So when we come back, Carleton in the Dark Caps and St. John's in the White Caps, as we get ready for action. As you see, Carleton. On the scoreboard, it's Carleton 5, St. John's, Minnesota 3. As we get set for second half action here in St. Paul, Minnesota, at Macalester College. And there is the whistle, the signal, the beginning of the second half. So third quarter now between Carleton and St. John's. Again, these two schools separated by 120.5 miles, both in Minnesota. Here's the drop. And the Johnnies and the White Caps control. With 5-3 Carleton, the Knights have led by as many as 3. But the Johnnies with the ball now look to come back. And these two teams did not face each other in 2015 because of a double forfeit and a Carleton win by a St. John's forfeit. The Johnnies now with possession in white at St. John's College. University, actually, of Minnesota. And that one is confiscated by Carleton and the Dark Caps. And it's a backward pass. See if the goalkeeper will get it. But it will go forward. Here come the Knights and the Dark Caps of Carleton. Third quarter, 5-3. That won't count, as that one went in after the whistle. We're still 5-3. St. John's with the possession in the White Caps. Again, St. John's 0-4 on the season. Carleton 2-2. Here's an opportunity, and number 6 is denied for St. John's. It will belong to the Knights. The Carleton goalkeeper, a long pass. around the mid area. Inside. No call. Carleton player looked a bit mugged, but incidental contact apparently, and that is intercepted by the Johnnies and the Whitecaps. So St. John's with possession, down 2 here in the third quarter. And goes in the middle, but easy pickings for the keeper of Carleton. So once again, Carleton in the dark caps, St. John's in the white. Carleton leading 5-3 in the third quarter. Each team having already played 4 games in previous tournaments this season. That one is a high and out of play shot. Now here come St. John's, Minnesota. So St. John's came 85.4 miles, to this tournament, and they're looking to come with a victory, but right now down 2. Carleton a little under 45 miles from Macalester College. That one will belong to the Carleton keeper. So 5-3. There hasn't been any goals yet. And hasn't been any scoring in this third quarter yet. Still 5-3. Another opportunity. Boom! Shakalaka! It's 6-3 Carleton. That was nicely executed. That was beautiful. Now, Carleton with its largest lead at 3. There have been other instances it has been at 3. So, tied for the largest lead right now. And St. John's has been down by 3 before. With possession. That one will go to the Carleton keeper. So 6-3 Carleton over St. John's, Minnesota, here at Macalester College in St. Paul, Minnesota. Here's cap 6 of St. John's. Here comes the Johnnies in the white caps. He's thinking right. Oh, he went left. And was blocked. Cap 11 for the Johnnies. Here's cap 10 for the Johnnies in white for St. John's. And that's another beautiful denial. Johnnies again still of control. Again denied. Carleton keeper will not let anything go in this third quarter. It's 6-3 Carleton. Carleton with 1 goal in this quarter. And that one goes through. Boom shakalaka. It's 7-3. There's cap 3 getting on the score sheet for Carleton. And it's now 7-3 Knights. Carleton has its largest lead at 4 as that's thrown out of play. As there will be a brief respite. So it's 7-3 Carleton with 2 goals in this third quarter so far. We have about 2 minutes, 19 seconds to go until we head to our final regulation quarter in this contest. So 7-3. Carleton opened up to a 2-1 lead after the first quarter. Then 5-3 at the half. Now it's 7-3. As a reminder, at 12:35 p.m. Central Time, it's Grinnell College versus Augustana College. Both teams coming in at 4-0. Grinnell finished 11-0 in first place in 2015 the conference, while Augustana was the Heartland Division champ in 2014. So it's 7-3 Carleton on this timeout. As you can see, Carleton troops, they get ready to go back in the water. There's St. John's. St. John's without a goal in this second half so far. And still 2 minutes 19 to go in this third quarter. So 30 seconds left in the timeout. And in this quarter, Carleton has outscored St. John's 2-1. Now, players are ordered to go back into the pool. So once again, Carleton in the dark caps, St. John's, Minnesota in the white. Now we go back to action. Carleton 7, St. John's 3. Official will throw it in to St. John's. So Johnny's now control. It's a wet pass, probably should have been dry, which is why Carleton confiscates it. And here's an opportunity for Cap 21. Try to go in the corner, and that is blocked out of play. Should be Carleton possession, and it will be. But Carleton, the dark caps, it's like a 2-meter. Goes inside. Another whistle. Now, the Knights again. Goes in the corner. Boom, shakalaka. Cap 21 again. It's now 8-3. A hat trick. Had 2 in the second quarter, and now at least 1 in the third. So 8-3. And that one goes in. Boom shakalaka. Cap 8 for St. John's. It's now 8-4 Carleton. And I believe the Johnnies finally reached the board. I'm sorry if I said they already have this quarter, but they have now. So Carleton up 4. Carleton in the dark caps, and St. John's in white. St. John's with possession. So again, 8-4 Carleton toward the end of the third quarter. Another whistle. And we'll go the other way. Carleton possession. So 8-4 Carleton, 22 seconds left on the shot clock. Has been a shot clock violation earlier. Carleton maintains possession. Takes the wet pass in the 2-meter area. Backward. Intercepted by St. John's in the white caps. Now it's 1-on-1. Cap 11 goes in the corner, but is denied. Boy, Carleton goalkeeper has really been critical. A lot of should-have-beens for St. John. Carleton with possession. But that is the end of the third quarter. After 3 quarters, Carleton the dark caps 8, St. John's, Minnesota in the white caps 4. Once again, I'm Scott Samuel David Weiss, and we'll be back for our final regulation quarter here in the first game.
If you want to improve your legs and take your water polo game to the next level, get a Cap 7 weight belt. It's comfortable, wears well, and will make a huge difference in your vertical game. Check it out at cap7.com. Cap 7 is built by water polo players for water polo players. I'm Wolf Ligo, 3-time Olympian and co-founder of Cap 7. No other ball in the world has the grip that a Cap 7 does.
So it's intermission into fourth quarter. Sorry if we have any technical difficulties throughout the day. It's Carleton 8, St. John's 4. Once again, this is Scott Samuel David Weiss. You're watching Collegiate Water Polo action. Heartland Division Regional Tournament. So again, to reset, it was 5-3 at the half. 3 more goals in the third quarter for Carleton, and just 1 score for the Johnnies. So again, well, thank you for watching us so far. Again, please stay tuned at 12:35 Central Time for Grinnell Pioneers versus Augustana Vikings. Grinnell will be wearing dark, and Augustana should wear white. And those two teams are both 4-0 after previous tournaments this season. So you see St. John's down 4. Again, Heartland Division Regional Tournament. Carleton 2-2, St. John 0-4. Carleton with 6-3 win against Knox, 13-4 loss versus Augustana, 8-1 win versus Knox, 11-5 loss versus Augustana. St. John's 4 losses, 15-7 against St. Mary's, 15-1 against Grinnell, 19-11 against Macalester, and 13-10 against St. Mary's. So again, Carleton the Dark Caps, St. John's in the white. It's just fourth quarter. We're about to start game 1 of 9 today. We're scheduled to provide you the first 8 of day 1 action of this Heartland tournament at Macalester College in St. Paul. We'll see who's going to go shopping for goals in this fourth quarter. We're 9.5 miles away from All of America, so now the fourth quarter is underway. St. John's with possession in the white caps. The Johnnies down 4. It is possible to come back. A few weeks ago, we've done a broadcast in which a team scored 6 goals compared to none by the opponent in the fourth quarter, but that team still lost because it entered that quarter down 10. And that one looks like it'll belong now to Carleton. And what I was talking about was a 15-11 win by UMass. I believe that may have been against Williams College. And Carleton in the dark hat with possession. So 8-4 in the fourth quarter. Carleton up 4, looking to add on to put this one away. Inside. Dangerous pass, could have been intercepted. There's Cap 21 again, and that's off the crossbar, out of play. Should be St. John's possession. So St. John's in the white caps with control now. 1 against 1. Looking for answers. Cap 6 in white for St. John's. Puts it through, but not enough. Another important save for the Carleton keeper. Now pass to the mid-section of the pool. And it is confiscated. Here come the Johnnies of St. John's. Puts it through. Doesn't go in. Too much mustard. But that one goes through. Boom shakalaka. Looks like 11 for St. John's. And now it's 8-5 Carleton. And if it is 11, at least second goal of the contest. So now 8-5. Was 5-3 after halftime in favor of Carleton. So now 3-goal difference. The Knights of Carleton and the Dark Caps have possession. Cap 3 is inside. Uncorks it, but can't cash in. Nicely done by the Johnny keeper. Here comes St. John's and the White Caps. Down 3. Looking for a quick one. But that one is short of the target. It's in the keeper hand. For Carleton. So it's 8-5 Carleton. Fourth quarter, game 1. And that one goes through, out of play. So then, our first of 9 games of the day. We're prepared to bring you the first 8 on the CWPA network. There are also 5 games scheduled on Sunday, October 2nd, 2016, but unfortunately, we do not plan on streaming them. That one is off the hands in the crossbar. That could belong to Carleton still in the Dark Caps. So 8-5 Carleton in the Dark Caps. And there could be a player substitution for the Johnnies. Not sure as that one is off the bar again for the Johnnies. St. John's has possession. So St. John's down 3, looking for another tally. So far in this fourth quarter, St. John's has outscored the Knights 1-0. There's an opportunity. Cap 6. Looks like Cap 17 now in white. (12:21 p.m. Central Time on this October 1st. And that one will be safely passed to the keeper for Carleton on the Dark Caps. So Carleton Knights 8, St. John's Minnesota Johnnies 5. Once again, this is Scott Samuel David Weiss. In the fourth quarter of our first game on this October 1st in the Heartland Division Regional Tournament in St. Paul, Minnesota. That one is denied, saved by the Carleton not Carleton, sorry, that was Johnny's. Carleton needs to go on defense. Johnny's looking to cash in. Boom shakalaka. That goal counts. It's by number 11 again. The second of this quarter, at least for the game. And now St. John's trails by 2. So it's possible. And if this game does end up being tied after regulation, overtime would be necessary. And that goal does stand. It's 8-6 Carleton. Knights in the Dark Caps with possession. Johnnies in the White Caps on defense. Carleton has been outscored this quarter. But not anymore. Boom shakalaka. Cap 3 for Carleton. Scores and it's 9-6. It's at least his second of the game. Carleton has been outscored 2-1 in this fourth quarter. But the Knights have upped their advantage back to 3. So Johnnies have some work to do here in the fourth quarter. And now we'll remain with the Johnnies and the White Caps. Down 3. That looked like it may have been deflected. Whistle. Looks like exclusion time. But can't cash in. Saved by the Carleton keeper. Now we have another whistle. 27 seconds on the shot clock. And that will be possession for St. John's. Another whistle. Again, 9-6 Carleton in the fourth quarter. Game 1 of the Heartland Division Regional Tournament. 14 games on the 2-day slate, 9 on this October 1st, 2016. And we plan to bring you the first date. There's Cap 14. Opportunity is denied. Again. Another critical save. As we are about 2 minutes and change, it looks like. I'm calling this a contest. There's a whistle. He's going to hold. Now Carleton looking to up the advantage. 9-6 Carleton wearing the cap. Color dark. And there's a whistle. And that's a shot clock violation. So now the Johnnies looking to capitalize on that error. Johnnies and the Whitecaps down 3. It's 9-6 Carleton. Schools separated by 120.5 miles. Carleton from Northfield and St. John's University in Collegeville, Minnesota. There's also a Collegeville, Pennsylvania. We shouldn't get those confused. And that one is pummeled out of play by the goalkeeper for Carleton. Should still belong to St. John's, Minnesota. So once we're done this game, get ready for Grinnell versus Augustana at 12:35 Central. St. John's having trouble. Carleton grabs and it's turned over to the Knights. So Carleton the Dark Caps 9, St. John's, Minnesota in the white. So the Johnnies down 3, the Knights up 3. There's another whistle. That one will be given to the keeper for the Johnnies. Not much time left in this contest. Rister out of play. And folks, that is the end of our first game. So, after 4 quarters, Carleton wins 9-6. Carleton entered the fourth quarter up 8-4 and win 9. So, thank you for watching. The final score is Carleton 9, St. John's, Minnesota 6.